For our closure today, we are going to read the article Real-Life Uses of LCM and GCF. In math, the GCF is better known as the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is commonly used to simplify a fraction by dividing both the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor of both. This is very common in math computation when considering fractions. The LCM is better known as the least common multiple of the denominators. This is often called the lowest common multiple. It is helpful to find the lowest common denominator since each of the fractions can be shown as a fraction with that denominator. When using addition and subtraction to compare fractions, it is useful to use the LCM. Now considering your real life, did you realize that LCM and GCF plays into your real life? Think about it. When dividing something equally, you subconsciously are using GCF and LCM. For example, when the children ask for slices of pie, a parent will divide the pie equally among the children. Without even thinking of it as in mathematical terms, you've used fraction formulas to solve a problem and made the children smile. Now consider counting and dividing your money. When standing at the counter, you decide how to use certain amounts as fractions to get the job done. You consider dividing your money for the best utilization. For example, when spending, you are recommended to put aside a fraction of money to save and a fraction to spend. You also use GCF and LCM in comparing prices. When thinking of buying a pound of bananas for a cheaper price, you'll use fractions to determine which price is cheaper. You can do this to save money and most times get the best bargain. Coupons also help save, and this is also a real-life example of using GCF and LCM in your everyday life. Time, an element of life that we of course use in our daily lives. Understanding time, however, is just fractions. Think about how you determine time. When determining time to learn the minutes of the clock, you determine the fraction of the clock. Without even realizing you're using GCF and LCM, you are using fractions to determine time. Again, another real-life use of GCF and LCM. So when you hear someone tell you that math isn't necessary, think twice. You use fractions in everyday life subconsciously. When considering time, money, comparing prices, and dividing items equally, you are using GCF and LCM. Now I also want you to think about this article and respond using a Flipgrid. Click the link located on the next slide.